They told the human cadet she had a 2% survival rate. She smiled and said, "Plenty." The mission briefing. The room was silent when the AI finished the calculation. Projected survival rate for mission Blackstar, 2.07%. The officers exchanged uneasy glances. A mission with a 2% chance wasn't a mission, it was a death sentence. At the center of the table stood Cadet Myra Hayes, barely 20, posture straight as steel. Her expression didn't flicker. 2%, she repeated, her voice calm. That's not zero. General Vaughn narrowed his eyes. Cadet, this operation requires infiltration of the Zytheron front. No backup. No extraction. No communication once you're inside. Every soldier we've sent into that zone has vanished. Myra smiled. Then they stopped sending the right kind of soldier. 2. The mission. The Zytheron Dominion had wiped out 3 human colonies in 6 months. Their technology was centuries ahead, their soldiers ruthless and unrelenting. Earth's only chance of survival was to destroy the quantum core, a massive energy nexus hidden in the heart of the Zytheron war moon. That was Myra's mission: infiltrate, plant the warhead, and escape before detonation. She suited up in adaptive nano-armor, its black plating shimmering like oil in light. The AI link Echo synced to her neural interface, monitoring vitals and mission parameters. Echo, Cadet Hayes, probability of success remains 2.07%. Myra, then I'll just have to make the 97.93 irrelevant. 3. Descent. The dropship released her above the war moon's atmosphere. Black clouds churned below, crackling with radioactive lightning. Myra's pulse didn't waver as she dove headfirst into chaos. Her body cut through turbulence, armor shifting density to absorb the shock. Flames streaked across her visor. Echo, atmospheric entry complete. Heart rate stable. You're remarkably calm for someone with a 2% chance of survival. Myra, I grew up on Earth. You learn to stay calm when the world's on fire. The ground rushed up, metallic planes littered with twisted machinery. She landed hard, rolling into the shadows of a ruined fortress. 4. Infiltration. Myra advanced through the dark corridors, silent as smoke. Her neural interface projected heat signatures, hundreds of Zytherons patrolling the core's perimeter. Each alien was a monster of sinew and metal, eyes glowing with cold intelligence. The Dominion prided itself on perfection. Humans were statistical noise to them, unpredictable, irrational, unworthy of survival. Myra grinned under her helmet. Good, she thought. Let's show them what noise can do. She moved like a ghost, slipping behind sentries, disabling power conduits, rerouting sensors. Every motion precise. Every risk calculated. The core chamber loomed ahead, an enormous column of pulsing blue energy reaching toward the heavens. V discovery. Human detected. The voice echoed from every direction. Zytheron patrols converged on her location, weapons raised. Myra spun, plasma rifle flaring. Bolts of energy seared through alien armor. She ducked behind a column, firing controlled bursts. Her nano-armor shifted colors to mimic her surroundings. Echo, alert enemy reinforcements approaching. Estimated survival rate. 0.8%. Myra, then I'm beating the odds already. A plasma grenade detonated nearby, hurling her across the room. Her shields flared and flickered. Pain shot through her side, but she pushed up, gritting her teeth. She pulled a breaching charge from her belt and slapped it onto a bulkhead. The explosion tore open a passage straight into the core's maintenance shaft. Thanks for the shortcut, she muttered, diving inside as the corridor behind her collapsed. 6. The heart of the beast. The quantum core was breathtaking, an ocean of raw energy suspended in magnetic fields, thrumming like a heartbeat. She set the warhead in place, fingers flying over the controls. It required perfect synchronization. Even a millisecond's error could cause premature detonation. Echo, detonation sequence armed. Countdown, 300 seconds. Myra, plenty of time. Echo, you have an entire army converging on your location. Myra, plenty of targets, too. 7. The stand. The first wave hit hard. Zytheran soldiers flooded the chamber, firing plasma bolts that scorched the air. Myra met them head-on, weaving through enemy fire, her rifle spitting bright arcs of death. She fought like a storm, precise, relentless, fearless. One alien after another fell, but they kept coming, overwhelming her with sheer numbers. Her ammo counter blinked red. Out already, she hissed, tossing the rifle aside and drawing her plasma blade. The room became a blur of motion and light. Sparks flew as steel met energy. Myra's armor cracked, blood streaking her visor, but she didn't slow. Echo, you can't hold them all. Myra, I don't need to. Just long enough. 8. The choice. With 60 seconds left on the timer, Myra realized something devastating. The warhead's signal dampeners had failed. The detonation wouldn't trigger remotely. Someone had to stay behind to activate it manually. She stared at the blinking timer. 00:59. 00:58. Echo, she said quietly, transfer control override to me. Echo, Myra, that's suicide. Myra, so was this mission. She pressed her blooded hand against the console. The override engaged. Echo, manual detonation authorized. You don't have to do this. Myra, yes, I do. They told me I had a 2% chance of survival. That means someone has to make that 2% mean something. 9. The final moment. The chamber trembled. The aliens hesitated as Myra stepped forward, battered but unbroken. She spoke through her external comms, voice carrying across the room. You call us weak. You think we need perfect odds to win. But humans don't measure survival in percentages. We measure it in heartbeats. And as long as one of us still beats. She pressed the trigger. You haven't won. Light engulfed the chamber. The aftermath. The explosion tore through the war moon, shattering its surface and collapsing the quantum core in a brilliant supernova of energy. The shockwave annihilated the Dominion's fleet, sending fragments of their war machines drifting into the void. On board the distant human carrier Resolute, General Vaughn watched the readings spike. Core collapse confirmed, said a comms officer. The Dominion's forces are gone. Vaughn's hands trembled slightly. And Cadet Hayes. Silence. The officer shook his head. She didn't make it, sir. The general looked out at the stars. She knew that when she went. He paused, his voice barely a whisper. 2%. 11. A new dawn. Months later, humanity celebrated its survival. The Dominion had fallen silent, their fleets shattered. Myra's name became legend, spoken in flight schools, whispered in barracks, engraved in the Hall of Heroes. Her last words, recorded through echo before the detonation, spread across every human colony. They told me I had a 2% survival rate. I said, plenty. Cadets repeated it during training. Commanders quoted it before battles. It became more than courage. It became human philosophy. Because humans never waited for perfect odds. They made their own.